One pot meals are great if you're on a budget, short on time, and you just hate washing a load of dishes. They can also be full of nutrients because you can put like loads in them, and they're great if you're cooking for a large amount of people or just for yourself. So in this video I'm going to show you 3 really simple one pot wonder recipes, and I'm also going to go through how much it costs to make each of them. Hi, my name is Sorcha. I'm a nutritionist and healthy lifestyle blogger from Ireland, and on this channel I help make healthy living simple because it doesn't have to be complicated. If you'd like some personalised nutrition advice, please check out my services. The link is in the description box below. It'll take you to my Facebook page. You can book a free consultation, introductory consultation, where I'll get to know you, you'll get to know me, and we can decide whether I can help you or not. So today we're going to make Chinese style fried rice. It's a one pot dish. You can add chicken if you want. I'm not adding chicken to mine. All you need is 500 grams of cooked rice. I've got my rice on boil in there. What I actually done was I took half brown rice and half white rice. So if you don't really like brown rice, if you half and half, then you're still getting extra fibre. Then I've also got my veg. I've got 100 grams of carrots, 100 grams of frozen peas. This is a little bit over 100 grams of sweet corn, 1 red onion, 3 eggs, 2 cloves of garlic. You can use more garlic if you like garlic, and you're going to need 5 tablespoons of soy sauce. So now that your rice is cooked, you're going to start with the veg. So you're going to put it on a pan to warm heat, or a wok, sorry. And add just a little bit of oil, about a tablespoon. You're going to wait until that oil heats up. Make sure that the wok is nice and hot. Then I'm going to add my veg. So I'm going to add my carrots. I'm going to add my peas, my onion, and my sweet corn. And you can add different kinds of veg if you want. You don't have to add these actual specific ones. So you're going to cook them just until they're soft, so about 5 minutes. So now that your vegetables are kind of soft, not too soft, you're going to add your garlic in there and mix it up. You're going to cook this for about 2 minutes, just kind of so the garlic can release its flavours. And then all you're going to do is put in your rice and eggs. So you want to have your 3 eggs cracked and beaten in like a dish. So you're just ready to pour them in, because once you put the rice in and you start pouring the egg, you have to mix it really quickly. Otherwise you're going to get like a scrambled egg effect, and that's not what we're looking for. So that's almost 2 minutes. Not very patient. Now what you're going to do is you're going to push all your vegetables to one side of the pan, like that. And you're going to put your rice, so this is my rice, it's cooked, and you're going to put it into one side, like that. And now for the fun part, I'm going to use a different spoon just. So I've got my eggs and they're all whisked together. And now I am going to, I'm really nervous, I'm going to pour the egg in slowly and mix fast. So here we go. You're going to want to turn the heat down here because you don't. So now this is 5 tablespoons of soy sauce, and you're just going to, once you've got all ingredients mixed up, you're just going to pour it in and mix it up. Like Now the heat is on a very low heat now. You don't really need to cook it anymore. And mix it up and it's ready to serve. And like I said, you can add chicken to it, you can add prawns to it, whatever you want. This recipe is really versatile. You can use whatever vegetables you like in it, and once again, it's one pot or pan or wok. If you don't have a wok, you can just use a really big frying pan, and as well, it's cheap. So it would come to $5.96 for the whole lot. And this also depends on where you buy your groceries. Like the chicken is what brings the price up, so the meat. So if you were to take out the chicken and use a different type of protein, maybe try tofu or something like that, it might bring the price down, it might bring it up. If you were to put beef in there, it probably would put it up. So anyway, still it's quite cheap, and it only comes to approximately 94 cents per serving. So that's 94 cents per head. This whole recipe makes about 6 servings in total. So also a really good recipe. And this one would be good if, say, you made it and you let the rice cool at and a good temperature. You have to be really careful with rice that it doesn't cool too quick, because you could get food poisoning. And once it's cool, you can store it in an airtight container in the fridge, and you can use it the next day, or you could take it with you for lunch, heat it up in the microwave. Don't heat it up more than once after it's cooked. So that's important. So this is a really simple recipe, and if you like pasta, like who doesn't like pasta, it's a great recipe to make, and you can make it in large amounts if you have a big family as well. So this is one pot prawn pasta. You don't have to use prawns, you can use chicken if you want. Basically all you need is 225 grams of tagliatelle pasta, so this is tagliatelle pasta. Then you need about 3-4 cups of baby spinach, 8 tablespoons of butter, real butter, yes. Garlic cloves. Now I'm only using 2 because in my family we don't really like very garlicky things, but you can use 3 or 4 garlic cloves if you like garlic. Then you're going to have a teaspoon of oregano and 2 teaspoons of dried parsley or 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley if you have it. You're going to need lemon juice. You're going to need about 25 to 30 grams of grated cheese. You can use Parmesan cheese. I'm using mozzarella because that's what we had in the fridge. You're going to need olive oil, and then I'm using prawns, but you could use chicken, or you could just leave the meat out if you're vegetarian or vegan. So first thing you need to do is you need to boil your water for your pasta. When you're making pasta, you do not put it into cold water. The water should be bubbling before you put the pasta in. You also need to put salt into the water. That seasons the pasta. Don't put olive oil in the water. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't do it. So all you need to do is boil the water and boil it in a big pan, because for this recipe, we're only going to use the one pot. So now we're going to boil the pasta. As you can see, this pot of boiling water is boiling. It's bubbling. So now I'm going to put in salt, like loads of salt. Now you're just going to drop in the pasta. And obviously the more people you're making it for, the more pasta you're going to use. So this recipe makes for 4 servings. So if you're going to make it for more people, you're going to need more pasta. So this will take about 10 or 11 minutes to make. So I'm just going to put the pot back on, or the lid back on, and let it bubble for 10 or 11 minutes. So now that your pasta's cooked, you're going to drain it. I just have it sitting here, and use the same pot. You don't have to do anything to the pot. You don't have to clean it out or anything. Just take 2 of your 8 tablespoons of butter. So and you're going to cook the garlic, so you're going to melt the butter. The pan's already hot from the pasta, so that shouldn't take too long. And once the butter is melted, you're going to add garlic and cook the garlic. So I've got the garlic chopped, and that's 2 cloves of garlic. Like I said, if you like garlic, you can add as much or as little as you want. You know the pan's hot enough when it starts sizzling like that. And you're just going to cook the garlic until it's like a golden colour. So I forgot to say also, when you're adding the butter and to cook the garlic, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil as well. Once it starts cooked, you turn the heat down and you're going to add the raw prawns. Or if you're cooking chicken, it will take longer. Obviously it takes longer to cook chicken. It only takes a few minutes to cook prawns. And you don't want to cook them completely through right now. You just want them to start going pink. So in the bowl they were kind of grey colour, not very appetizing looking. You just want them to start going pink. So this one here has started going pink. Now the next step, you're going to add your spinach, but just to say what's the word? I put salt and pepper on the prawns just before, but you don't have to do that. So the next step is the spinach. Now, once the prawns are nice and pink, you're going to add your spinach, and you're going to add your teaspoon of oregano, whichever way you want to say it. You're just going to mix it up, and you're going to cook it until the spinach is wilted. That's when it's cooked. Your prawns are probably already cooked, so you don't need to worry about them. Like I said, if you're using chicken, it will take longer, so just make sure the chicken's cooked through and it's not pink in the middle. Now it's time to throw everything into the pan. So you're going to put your pasta in. Oh, it's gone a bit hard. Oh. You're going to put your pasta in. You're going to put the rest of the butter in. Going to put the cheese in. Going to put your parsley in, and like I said, dried parsley 2 teaspoons, fresh parsley 2 tablespoons, and it's the same with any herbs. If you're using dried herbs, you use less because they're like kind of concentrated. Finally, add the lemon juice. That's 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And that's your 1 pot pasta salad. So that's the 1 pot prawn pasta. Really simple to make, really tasty. It's also really, really cheap. So for that whole recipe, the whole lot, the 4 portions, it only costs $7.96 approximately, depending where you get your groceries. I got mine Aldi. So then per person, so that's if you divide that by 4, it comes to $1.96 per person. Like if you were to pay for that out somewhere, you would pay at least €10, if not more, because there's prawns in it. So making stuff at home not only will save you money, it doesn't have to be like a full day of cooking, a full day of washing up. That uses one pot. It only takes about 11 to 12 minutes for the pasta and then the rest. So like 15 minutes, maybe 20 in total to make it, and you've got a really tasty dish. Today we're going to make vegetable fajitas. Now these are really easy to make and I love them because you can basically do anything with them, put anything in them. Don't like peppers, don't put peppers in, put something else in or just take them out. I am using the 3 red, green and yellow peppers because I like to make things colourful. And then I've got some courgettes and I've got some red onion. You could put spinach in it, you could put beans. I've got a really good recipe actually for a bean burrito, which is kind of similar to this, but it uses beans. And you can put whatever you want in it really. And so that's what I'm using. And then you're going to need some tomato salsa. And I'm using a mild one, but you can use spicy if you want. We've got some cream, sour cream to kind of cool it down. Or you could use some guacamole, or you could use both. And you're going to need some smoked paprika, or you could use ground cumin. Personally, I don't really like cumin, so I'm using smoked paprika, but you can try cumin. And I've got some garlic powder and oil. And then you've got your wraps. So I'm using seeded wraps. You could use whole grain wraps. If you want, you can use plain white wraps as well, but like we want to get some extra fibre in there. And then you've got cheese. Once again, any kind of cheese you want. I'm using mozzarella. I actually prefer the way mozzarella melts because it melts kind of like on pizza. So that's why I use it. Now, first thing we need to do is we're going to cook all the veg. So let's get. Now we're going to cook the veg. So you're going to get your pan nice and hot. You're going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil or any kind of cooking oil in. Wait till the little bubbles start appearing because that's when you know it's hot enough. While you're doing that, what you can do is you can wrap your tortillas in tin foil and put them in the oven at a really low heat. That will have them so that they're warm whenever this is ready to be put in. Also, you could heat them up in the microwave as well, but I like putting it in the oven because then it gives me time to work with whatever the filling is going to be. So that feels hot enough. So that's just all the veg that I'm using. Now, you don't have to put all these in your wrap. You can cook them all and you can store them in an airtight container then and just use them for whatever, like salads, whatever you want. So you're going to mix them all up and you're going to cook them for about 10 minutes because you don't really need to do much now, you just need to let that cook. Now you're going to add your salsa. So you're going to add 2 tablespoons of salsa. So 2 good sized tablespoons of salsa. And you're going to also add your teaspoon of garlic, but just a little sprinkle, and your teaspoon of either cumin or smoked paprika. And you're going to stir that up. Let that just cook on a medium to low heat for about 5 minutes, and then it's time to make the wraps. Now you're going to wrap your wraps. So you're going to just get a small bit of the veg that you have just cooked and try and get it in the center. And now it's just wrapping it up. So just get something like this. You'll probably do a better job at it than me, but basically that's it. So for the vegetable fajitas, you can have a bit of fun with them. You can put in whatever vegetables you like. I used courgettes and red onions and peppers and stuff like that, kind of Mexican theme going on there. Also, you can make it as spicy or as mild as you want, depending on your preference. It's difficult to calculate the cost of this because, once again, it depends on the vegetables you use, depends where you get them. If you were to make this in a big batch, you would use loads of veg and you would use like loads of ingredients and you would batch cook it. And normally things that are batch made, like the one pot pasta that we made and the rice, would be what's called a batch dish. Wraps and tortillas, they're not batch dishes, but you can make them into dishes by making the filling in a batch. And you can cook it all in one go and freeze it, because you can freeze vegetables, fresh vegetables, once they're made up. So also a great thing to do if you're always quite busy and don't have time to cook. And definitely will get your 5 a day in there. If you find it hard to get enough fibre in, using whole grain wraps will also help with that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it and I hope you enjoy the recipes. If you did, please comment below and tell me whether you liked the recipes or not and whether you made any changes. And also please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell on this video. And I'll see you next time. Bye.